It's another day and it's more drama. Today is not a transfer video. I've only just seen this. The BBC have dropped an article and it's blown up over Twitter. And the FA have come out and charged Arsenal for surrounding the referee. Like this hasn't happened every single Premier League game. Like, this isn't me making a video to defend Arsenal. I've been very consistent when I've called out the officiating in the Premier League. I called it out when it was Liverpool versus Chelsea, when I thought it wasn't a red card. I called it out when Van der Ven brought down Andre Ayew, or the Ayew player from Crystal Palace. Thought that was a red card. I thought Saliba's red card against Bournemouth was a red card. But how are we sitting here, and why does it look like, again, there is an agenda against Arsenal? Michael Oliver has refereed something like 52, 54 Premier League games and produced something like 8 or 9 red cards. I don't think he's ever given a red card in the last 40 games against Spurs or refereeing Spurs. I think he's given 1 red card for Liverpool in the same time frame, and I think he hasn't given a red card for Manchester City. We need to break this down. We need to look at the actual charge from the FA, look at how long they've got to respond. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think there is actually an agenda against Arsenal? Because I understand the frustration from Arsenal fans, but I understand the frustration when rival fans come out and say the refereeing body across the league is terrible. I mean, look at Wolves. Wolves have been shafted more than any Premier League team, to my knowledge. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you have hit that subscribe button. We are steamrolling our way towards 43,000. We're about 6, maybe 4, 5. I don't even know. I think it's 600 away. Now, this was the charge from the FA. Regulation and discipline update. Arsenal FC have been charged after its players surrounded a match official during the Premier League fixture against Wolverhampton Wanderers FC on Saturday, the 25th of January. The club allegedly failed to ensure that its players did not behave in an improper manner around the 43rd minute. Arsenal FC have until February the 3rd Monday to provide a response. So fun enough on transfer deadline day. Now, I want to bring up a number of images, and I'll start with this one here. Does anyone remember there being a charge in this game when Jack Grealish was through on goal? Funny enough, just to show you that I am not biased, I chose this game because this was against Spurs. Before anyone says, oh, Henry's an Arsenal fan, look at the fixture I'm covering, right? This game, Jack Grealish is through on goal. The referee got pulled it back for a reason. Manchester City swarm the referee. Yes, it's not Michael Oliver, but it's still relevant. Does anyone remember Manchester City getting charged? Does anyone remember? Because I do not. And if they did get charged, I'm happy to see evidence on that. You know, and this is, I think this was the 3rd time they've actually been charged by the referees for surrounding a referee, right? The exact same game, right? That when Gomez for Wolves brought down a player, the Wolves players are starting to surround the referee. Does anyone remember Wolves getting charged? You can look at the Arsenal versus Manchester City game, for instance. Doku kicks the ball away. Whether it was back to wherever the free kick was taken, he still kicked the ball away. Leandro Trossard does it. Red card. Declan Rice, another controversial red card. But what makes this even funnier is the actual decision that was given as a red card that Arsenal then appealed, won the appeal because it was never a red card for what Myles Lewis-Skelly done. This is the incident where the Arsenal fan and players were fuming because it was never a red card in the first place. And yet the FA have charged them for reacting to a decision that wasn't actually a red card. So what on earth are we doing here? We're now expecting players not to react when they've been harshly dealt with. Once again, let me show you this Manchester City incident, right? I don't know whether this was last season. I don't know whether this was this season. Look at Erling Haaland. Reaction, right? Does anyone remember Manchester City getting charged? I'm just proving a point that the officiating in the Premier League right now, it feels like every single weekend, there is a controversial decision which fans are getting more and more irate with and getting more and more annoyed with the standard of officiating. I don't remember the last time there was a massively controversial offside or red card in the Champions League or in the Europa League. Why? Because the refereeing standard is much higher. I think the Premier League right now has one of the lowest standards of officiating it's had in a long, long time. This incident, was back in, 2023? I don't remember anything coming out about it. So Arsenal have been charged. This is from the BBC, and it comes out and it gives a bit more of a detailed breakdown. It says Arsenal have been charged by the Football Association after players confronted referee Michael Oliver following Myles Lewis-Skelly's controversial dismissal in the 1-0 win against Wolves. Oliver showed Lewis-Skelly a red card in the first half after the teenager fouled Matt Doherty, with the referee ruling it a serious foul play. The Gunners appealed against a decision against the 18-year-old. 3-match ban was overturned earlier this week. So it was overturned. Then what are we doing here? Arsenal have until 3rd of February to respond to the FA charge. Police have investigated threats and abuse. Right, this is a completely different subject they're now talking about. And I strongly disagree with giving the referee threats and abuse. But just on the red card, it was never a red card. And I can understand the frustration. But however, that does not give you a right to speak to a referee about that or slate him online. Doherty was just outside the Wolves box as he counter-attacked in the 43rd minute and was brought down by Lewis-Skelly. The decision was to send him off by was upheld by Darren England, who was the VAR assistant. It then goes on to say, the red card infuriated Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta and divided opinion amongst pundits and fans. Match of the day, pundit Alan Shearer, the Premier League's leading goal scorer, said the sending off was one of the worst decisions I have seen in a long time. Right, so if Alan Shearer can see that, and the FA have approved the appeal from Arsenal to appeal for the red card, then why are they being, criticised, and why are they being charged by the FA for surrounding a referee when this pretty much happens every single Premier League game week? It happens all the time. All the time. And I just don't remember the last time, like the Wolves instance, right? Where Wolves played, West Ham, and Lamina and Cunha kicked off. And Cunha was like trying to fight some of the coaches or trying to fight some of the staff. I can understand that. I can understand why the Premier League would want to, cut down on that. But what are we doing here? It's madness. It's absolutely insanity is what it is. Insanity. That we're sitting here and more Arsenal fans and more Chelsea fans and United fans and rival fans are just stating facts that the standard of officiating right now is mind-blowingly bad. It's mind-blowingly bad. You watch this weekend, there's a lot of big games. Arsenal versus Manchester City. Huge game, right? Brentford versus Tottenham. A big game for Spurs. Wolves versus Villa. A bit of a derby there. Chelsea, West Ham, London derby. Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Massive game in the title race. I guarantee you there will be a controversial decision this weekend. That is how confident I am at the standard of officiating in this league. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed. I'm out.